I haven't shot my trad bow in a good long time, and today I feel like actually picking it up and flinging some arrows down range. So I'm going to shoot 30 arrows for score here at 18 meters or 20 yards. I got a camera down range so you'll be able to see the impact points the entire time, and I'm just going to have a little bit of fun today. Real quick, I got my apparel back up and running. I have links in the description below, and I'll put a card at the top up there. I have my barebow repeat shirt on here because I'm shooting barebow today, actually. And if you're interested in checking out any of the apparel designs that I do have available, check it out in the links in the description below. Also, they almost always have some sort of discount code running, which is at least 15% off usually. So keep an eye out for those on the website when you go to the Zazzle store. At the top, they'll have a code you can copy and paste when you're checking out and get like 15% off. Yeah, it's been a very long time, and I haven't shot this bow much at all. I've played around a little bit here or there and made some slight adjustments. I don't even know if I featured it on the channel or anything, but I went to heavier points. I think I could maybe have 125s in, and I put brass inserts to make the front of the arrow a little heavier to break the spine down a little bit, because the arrows are actually a bit stiff, which has dramatically slowed down the bow and completely changed the feel. And I haven't shot in forever, so I'm gonna fling some arrows today and see how it goes and just have some fun. I think I don't know, I'll shoot split finger today because why not, and I'm still just using a glove because it's just easy. Throw it on, shoot some arrows, have a good time. Considering for the first arrow, I'm pretty happy with that. I forgot how quiet this bow is. Maybe I'll shoot 3 under too, I don't know. Bow's definitely quieter with split finger, but I feel like naturally I shoot a little bit better 3 under without needing to shoot a ton of arrows. It just naturally they go where I'm just looking, because I shoot instinctively. I don't gap shoot anything like that, and I definitely haven't shot enough to where I'm used to a sight picture per se. So anyway, I'm going to shoot a couple ends to warm up, and then we'll start scoring for fun. Also, I got a new quiver today that I'm using. This is the Hipster that Whiskey City Trad sent me, and it's actually quite nice. It's nice and compact, and I like that it keeps everything in a really small package, because when you got bare bones stuff that you don't need a whole lot of tools for, there's no need to have a big giant quiver and all sorts of crap hanging off of it. So if you're interested, I'll have links in the description below to Whiskey City Trad 2, and thanks to them for sending me a quiver and hooking me up with some of their gear. Alright, so I got a decent feel for it. I'm going to start scoring next end. I'm going to shoot 6 arrow ends, and I'll shoot 5 ends for a total of 300, out of 300 at least. And like I said, I'm not doing anything in particular. I don't aim. I don't, I don't do anything really other than stare at the middle, draw back, and this last end I did actually anchor and then just cut it loose whenever it felt right. I did a video recently on my recurve when I was shooting it, explaining how I grew up aiming, and I feel like that is why I'm fairly naturally good at shooting the trad bow, because the way I grew up aiming is the traditional way. I started shooting with a ring, at least when I switched to recurve, because I did shoot compound for 6 years, but I started with just a ring with no pin in the middle, shooting recurve, and I just stared at the middle, drew the bow back, waited while I stared at the middle, and didn't really try to hold the pin in the middle, and when the clicker clicked, I would let it go. And I think that actually really made me a much better recurve archer in the long run, because I learned how to aim past the sight, to stare past the sight and look at the target, burn a hole in the target with my eyes, as I was taught when I grew up. And anyway, I think that's why it translates so well to just picking up a trad bow here and shooting it and having some fun. I'll have links in the description below to that video and a card at the top up there. In case you haven't seen that one yet, it's just interesting that that is how I grew up aiming, and it works the same here with this, traditional style archery. And one of the first things that was really difficult when I moved out to the Olympic Training Center to start shooting archery full time and try to learn how to be really, really good, they put a sight pin, one with a pin in the middle. And one of the biggest arguments I had with Larry Skinner, the assistant coach at the time, was, and this was my argument, it's like talking to somebody like this. Because what I want to do is I want to see what I want to hit, but if I have a pin in the way, it's as if I'm covering what I want to see. And it just didn't feel right. And it took me actually a considerable amount of time and a lot of frustrations to get over something covering what I wanted to see. And it took a long time to get used to it. I had to learn how to use it, because in Olympic style archery, you have to aim off when the wind is blowing. Like today, when it's gusty and the winds are changing constantly, you can't move your sight to adjust for the actual windage, because wind ever changes, and so you're always aiming in different places to try to hit the 10 ring. So I had to get used to it, but anyway, enough rambling. I'm gonna go get them and start scoring. All right, I'm gonna go get them, and I'll let you know what I shot in the previous end when I come back, because I can't quite tell from here. Looks like I got 2 6s, a couple of 10s, and maybe a 9 or an 8. So that was a 52, 4 10s and 2 6s. And in case you're interested, because I haven't said it yet, I'm shooting a JT Traditional Archery Zeus in 66 inches. And it's 41 pounds at 28 inches. This is a bow that John built for me, as you can see. Very cool. Thanks again to John for hooking me up with a really awesome bow. This is my first actual trad bow, and even cooler, it was built just for me. And before you ask why, the arrows are extremely long, yes, because I didn't know what spine to buy. I've not set up anything for a traditional style bow that's only cut to center and not past center with a plunger and everything. So I guessed and got 400s. Definitely was the wrong spine. I built them up full length just in case they were too stiff, and then hopefully I could shorten them. But I definitely need something like a 500 spine or 600 maybe, I don't know. But like I said, I threw heavier points in with heavier inserts to try to break down the spine a bit to get them to fly a little bit better. So far, they're doing okay. And yeah, so that's why they're extremely long and stick out so far. All right, go get them. That was a 51, 3 9s, and 3 8s. Oh, I forgot to score the last one. The last one was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 48, I believe. That last one was 50. So that was a 49, which makes it a 250 out of 300 here at 20 yards on this 80 centimeter face. Definitely notice that if I hold and kind of enjoy the shot a bit before I cut it loose, it usually is a little closer, with the exception of a couple that went really low. Otherwise, if I cut it loose really early and almost snapshot, I typically tended to hit to the right, which is telling me I'm not quite getting in my back and feeling like I'm bracing the bow or being inside the bow. So just something to share, something to note. I'm having fun because I get to just fling some arrows and not really have to try so hard. So I'm going to move around at different angles now and just kind of shoot some arrows at the same target, but kind of through the trees, and make things a little bit fun and share that with you. All right, we're going to shoot this one by this tree and through those two trees there. I think, yeah, you can see I'm shooting right through the trees. The arrows don't fly that great, so hopefully they clear the tree. I'm a little bit further back than 20. Maybe I'm at 22, 23 yards now. Obviously hitting low a little bit further. Too much fun. It's really fun when that happens. Holy cow. I'm glad that didn't hit me. It's a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to keep moving around. Have a good time. All right, we're going to try shooting down. I'm going to shoot off one knee, kind of get under this plum tree here that's in front of us. And I can still see the target just past the tree, very similar to what you're seeing here. Gotta make sure the limb tip doesn't hit anything. And there, front knee down. Definitely not as consistent. I would say I'm about 19 yards or so, 18 yards. All right, keep moving around. I didn't have one in the yellow, so I got to get at least one. I think that might have been it. I think I got at least 2 in there, maybe 3. All right, I got a little window here through this other plum tree, under the next plum tree. I'm gonna guess I'm probably, I don't know, about 25, 26 yards or so. Hit a stick halfway down. Didn't realize the arrows were arcing so high. All right, I'm gonna shoot one more end from this same place. I'm gonna put the camera halfway down range, pointing back at me just for some fun. This is quite distracting. I'm gonna show you my vision here, the line of vision I've got. The camera is basically in line. I know that the arrow though is going over where that stick is, kind of arched this direction. That's about the height of the arrow, so I know I'm gonna clear the camera, but it's a bit concerning because it's right in my vision. Well, I had some fun today shooting my trad bow here, not only scoring at 20 yards and shooting a 250, which isn't that bad actually on this 80 centimeter face. I had lots in the middle and I had a lot that were not in the middle. And I had a lot more fun just kind of walking around, shooting arrows off my knees, shooting through little paths that I kind of broke out of the way in bushes. To me, this is what archery is all about, just shooting some arrows, having a good time, and enjoying it all along the way. Hey, if you like this video, consider sharing it, hitting that notification bell down below. Genuinely, all those things help this channel grow. I don't operate any other social media, and I rely on you to help spread the word about this channel. Also, if you wouldn't mind, consider supporting this channel. There's many different links in the description below. Can't thank my supporters enough. I produce all this content for archers around the world to enjoy for free. Not just this stuff where I'm shooting some arrows and just having a good time, but also the educational stuff, teaching people about form, technique, tuning, and all sorts of different things.